We've all heard of Super Butch, but have you given Queen Charge Super Barbs a go? Because if you haven't, you definitely should. Not only does this army look like a whole lot of fun, it looks extremely effective as well in the hands of Kingsman. As we start this attack, I want you to have a look at the army comp. So we'll zoom in on the Queen Charge coming in, but have a look at this. So there's 21 Super Barbs, we had 7 balloons, we have a Titan and an Apprentice Warden with this Queen Charge. Have a look, the Apprentice Warden coming in here. And one thing that's really good about the Apprentice Warden with the Queen Charge is he can get healed, not deliberately by the healers, but he has a pretty similar range to the Queen, and will often get the splash effect of the healing that the Queen provides. Now, this is really unfortunate here. You get all the skeleton traps at once. You get the poison spell from the poison tower, the defensive king, and the town hall. So this is going to cost Kingsman a few spells here. We see another rage spell used. We actually had to use all of our headhunters on that defensive king. Not ideal. Really good base building there. But we get through, and our warden is, the apprentice warden is still alive. And trust me, this apprentice warden puts in a huge amount of work for these Queen Charges. Now, I believe he just died there to the Eagle Artillery. Unfortunate, but his value was definitely gotten already, in my opinion. Now, this attack strategy is going to be really hard to explain, but it's essentially, you're going to Queen Charge as much as the base as possible. The Super Barbs are going to be a perfect funnel troop, and you want to make this Queen Charge as easy as you can. Look at all this. We've used basically every single spell on this Queen Charge. The Flame Flinger is doing a good job on the top side. Now, you are not going to use your king to funnel for the Queen Charge. Nope, you're going to use your king with a ground hero push. Now we use the remainder of our barbs. Generally, you want about 10 of them left to funnel in your hero push. There goes our first wall breaker. Nice queen at pop, by the way. Gets rid of the scatter and the defensive queen. And look at this perfect funnel. And then the king goes in. Now, in this attack, Kingsman uses the RC with the main push. This does not happen every single attack. Keep that in mind. But it will happen in this attack. Perfect freeze on the multi and the ground bow. So our queen lives. And, I mean, look at this. This base has gone from, well, that charge was really difficult and we have no spells left, to the base is gone. Titan coming through as well. The Titan is really handy with this army comp, actually. When I saw Kingsman using the Titan, I'm like, are you sure that's worth it? Like, is it worth the 32 troop space when you could just bring 5 Super Barbs? But from what I've seen, it is worth it. There's so many different purposes for the Titan, and this base got wrecked. Like, this is such a nice attack. Now, don't get me wrong, these Queen Charges are not going to be easy. But you have, like, 7 balloons that can all be used to funnel your Queen Charge. You've got, like, at least 10 to 15 Super Barbs that you can use as well. And every spell you could possibly need. Really awkward box space here. Rage Towers are set up super nicely to make this charge as difficult as possible. But let's see what Kingsman does here. Yet again, using the Apprentice Warden. Now, if you don't think this Apprentice Warden isn't adding much, hopefully the next couple of attacks, I remember there's one attack today that just shows how handy it is, will prove you. Now, if you want some stats on the Apprentice Warden is adding 1,161 hit points to this Queen. Obviously gives a little bit to the healers as well, but it's mainly for the Queen. So an extra 1,161 hit points, which doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind the Queen only has 3,870 hit points. So it takes it from 3,870 to what, 5,031 hit points. So over 5,000 hit points, like that is pretty substantial. It is 30% multiplier. And that can definitely come in handy, especially when you're charging Rage Towers, because that extra 1,000 hit points is the difference between the Queen going to ability and the Queen not going to ability. So you see, the Eagle is actually raged here. So it's going to hit the Queen hard. Now, well, I guess it didn't matter anyway, did it? That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. That's very unfortunate. That did not prove my point at all. But the Queen could have died through her ability there if it weren't for that. But, I mean, you can make any point you want. I guess that's just a bad example to show, and you can laugh at me. But what we can enjoy is this invis spell you see used. So Kingsman is bringing the Yetis in his CC, but look at what this invis allows him. The Yetis take no damage whilst they're on the town hall, and they're actually able to get the the monolith down as well. That was genius there from Kingsman. I mean, that's the difference between a pro player and not a pro player, right? I would not try and make that invis. He would, and that monolith going down is the difference between this being a triple and not. And we're just going to 2 times through the rest of this because you got the Warden following the RC on the top side with a few Super Barbs, and it's just going to be as much as raging this RC and then freezing the Scatter and the RC, as you see there, perfectly done. And that's the rest of the base taken down. Really nicely done. Hopefully we can get a replay to show the power of the Apprentice Warden a little bit better. Ring base here. Now, this is Kingsman's non-max account. You'll see the Apprentice Warden's actually level 1, but he's still deciding to use the Apprentice Warden with this army, which I think says a lot of what you need to know, in the sense that clearly the Apprentice Warden is really good with this army if at level 1 Kingsman is still bringing it. Now, one question I asked Kingsman, actually something Kingsman said, I should say, is that he uses this army more in War than he would in Legends League. Now, obviously, he's using it in Legends League 8 times a day, can't get past that, but this army is better suited for War than Legends League. I asked him if he had some War replays. I didn't have too many of them, so we're just sticking with Legends League today, but this army can definitely be used in War, and not only that, it is better in War than it is in Legends League. Now, Queen Charge coming in here. Unfortunately, not a well-placed aggressive rage, so we have to use the invis spell here. One thing I was really surprised about this army, because we've had the box bases so far, and box bases are great because they're extremely open, so you can get away with just having 3 super wall breakers. But when it comes to like these ring bases, look at this. We've already used all 3 of our super wall breakers, so we actually have no way for our super barbs to enter the base, or even our king push. Nice super barbs there, activates 1 poison tower. The other poison tower gets on our queen, but that is completely fine for us. So we've got no way to enter the base here, so we kind of have to enter on this top side where the flame flinger has thankfully busted a hole open in the wall for us. Use the super barbs to funnel, and then in this attack I believe we use the king, Warden and RC together. Titan on a slight delay. Don't actually know why, but look at this. We got the Yetis are going to come out together as well. The Queen gets the Town Hall down just in time, and here comes the Warden ability with all the Headhunters, and we actually still have a Rage spell of our own left, and look at these Raged Headhunters. Go straight through the King like it's nothing. The defensive Queen goes down in a heartbeat, and this base is now suddenly completely wrecked. We've got a Rage spell left. We're not going to be needing that. This is going to be a massive swag. Really nice attack here, showing that if you get good flame flinger value and nice Queen Charge, the super barbs are so good at running over the rest of the base. But I also like how smart he was about this, right? Because obviously, you know, there's only so many ways you could have Queen Charge. He could have tried to Queen Charge up here if he wanted. But imagine trying to send super barbs through the back end of this base with no wall breakers. They just wouldn't have got much done. Identifies that this is the open area of the base, that the super barbs can just run over that, plus the king and warden, and that is enough to get the triple. You see the swag rage there. Really well done here from Kingsman. So you do have to take that into account with the super barbs, which part of the base is open for them to run over the base. Before you come at me and say this base is terrible, Hooked, why are you putting it in a video? I'm aware it's a terrible base. I'm not gonna fight you on that much. But the reason I put this in the video is because this base is still insanely common, right? It is still very much used in Legends League. So if any of you at home plan, if any of you at home plan on deciding on using this army, then here you go, because you're more likely to run into a base like this than some of the bases you've seen in today's video. Now notice that Kingsman put his Apprentice Warden down after he dealt with the CC. I don't really know the exact reason for that, other than it might cause some interesting interactions having the Apprentice Warden down early. So decides to take the safe route and delay the Apprentice Warden, yet again adding all those hit points to our queen. Flame Flinger on the top side is going to do really nice work. Now this sort of base is the exact sort of base this army should struggle on, right? Because we're going to Queen Charge really nicely into this Town Hall, but we're kind of running out of wall breakers at this point. And I've just realized something. I believe he has 4 super wall breakers with this army. I think I've had this wrong the entire time, have I? Because look at this, has he not used... Yeah, he's used 3 wall breakers this attack. I'm going crazy. Maybe there's been some he's used 3 super wall breakers. I don't know. you can all correct me down in the comments below and have a go at me there. But regardless, even with 4 super wall breakers, right? Look, this entire back end of the base is not open. We are going to get our king into this open channel down the middle, which is going to be really nice with the royal champion behind. But it's not perfect. It's not an open base. So let's see how Kingsman goes about it. So like I said, he opens up this perfect channel down the middle. Deliberately tries not to open this archer tower because he can't afford a wall breaker to go there. Nice freeze on the monolith, scatter, and multi. King ability goes off. We get all the barbs in it. And we're just using barbs around the edge of the base, not necessarily to get value, but just to tank some defenses. RC and King doing the best job that they can. Queen's in a whole lot of trouble, but she's still got her ability. Actually, I lie. She's gotten through the worst of it. Super Barbs on the edge of the base doing their best. And we're just going to slowly but surely overwhelm this base. The King has gone down, but the Royal Champion's still got plenty of pain that she can dish out to the base here. Look at this. It's just going to slowly but surely overwhelm this base. Because in reality, this whole attack strategy is about maximizing heroes. Yes, the Super Barbs are extremely effective at being helpful, but this whole army is just about heroes. And I mean, that's every single Super Barb attack strategy is just about maximizing your heroes. All right, I see 4 Super Wall Breakers. That makes a lot more sense. I was going to say, if he's doing this with 3 Super Wall Breakers, that's kind of insane if you ask me. Now, have a look. We're coming in with a charge into an area of the base you really should never charge. Look at this. We've got a Rage Tower with 2 ground bows. There will be a Warden and 2 multis and potentially a CC all at the same time. Let's see what this Apprentice Warden can do for us. Queen coming in, doing a nice job, gets rid of that. We get the Rage down early. Even with the Apprentice Warden, you've got to get the Rage down early because, yep, there comes the Rage Tower doing lots of damage. Thankfully, we are just out of range of these 2 multis. We could not be closer to them. But look, the Apprentice Warden is getting healed as well. And despite this huge amount of damage, our Queen's kind of chilling. She's kind of chilling. Now, here comes the raged, well, they're no longer raged multis on, and somehow we've charged this section of the base. Now, it's really well done, obviously, from Kingsman, but definitely I want to give a little bit of credit here to the Apprentice Warden. Now, we're going to use the barbs on the top side to funnel in our main hero push, but we're not going to see the Royal Champion come with this. Now, the Town Hall is an issue in this attack, so what's Kingsman going to do? That's right, we're just going to use the blimp here. Blimp's job's just to go across and get that town hall down. Now, we still do have an invis spell at this point in time, but he uses it on the Queen here. Now, if he hadn't used it on the Queen, I think he would have used it on the Yetis to potentially do that trick we saw before and also get the monolith down potentially. But alas, had to use it on the Queen at the last second. Not much you can do about that. We're still sitting on our Royal Champion here. The Queen is beating through a really annoying wall, but look at this. The Royal Champion's going to come in just in time. Look at this. This Queen's getting super low. She just gets out of range, and the RC stuns the monolith. We could have lost our Queen through ability there if it weren't for that really smart RC. Now, she has taken a lot of damage, but really, that monolith was the last major threat on the base. We still got 2 freeze spells, and that is a GG. So the real question is, what do you think of this army? Will you give it a go? I think this army will be extremely difficult, and it'll probably take you a while to understand it because there's so many different ways you can take down bases, but I would be lying if I said it didn't look fun. Like, this looks heaps of fun. Maybe breathe some fresh life, into Legends League for you. Now, if you want to see more Kingsman attacks, I love watching him as much as you guys do. I'll link a video on the left. I really can't recommend enough watching this guy do his thing.